Hey guys, you can see from the title that I'm going to be talking about transethnicity. What is it? Should we take it as a joke? Should we be offended by it somehow? Let's take a look. Long story short, yes, it is a real thing, but not for the reasons you might think. I've only ever heard this be used on Tumblr, and I'll put a link down below so you guys can scroll through that tag. It's not worth looking through though, really. And it's kind of ridiculous. It's used mostly on the internet by people who were born one ethnicity and identify with the culture and language of another ethnicity. This is like any other kind of trans person, but it has nothing to do with gender or sexuality. Now I fully understand that this more than likely started as a troll, but it has evolved into people really identifying with this term and thinking, oh yeah, that's what I am, yeah. And I know this can be argued about any identity, like demisexual or anything like that, but this just can't sit right in my mind, and who knows, I may be completely wrong and someone may prove me wrong that this is a real thing. But I feel like just because you like a culture and like the people in that culture does not mean you should aspire to look like and be exactly like the people from that culture. For example, I love Japanese culture and the language and the geography and all that kind of stuff. But that doesn't mean that I am a Japanese girl stuck in a white girl's body. Like, that just does not make sense at all. I remember when I was in middle school, and you know, that's kind of when you're finding out who you are, and same for high school, I guess. But it was mostly in middle school when I had this stage. And you know how people usually have like an emo phase in middle school? This was more or less my British phase. I was an Anglophile. It was pretty embarrassing. I deleted everything on my social internet life from that point. It was awful. I am so embarrassed by it. But now, as I look back on that, being 17 and being a little bit more mature than when I was 12, I realized that I was not a British person. I was not a British person stuck in an American person's body. I just like Doctor Who and Sherlock. There's no problem with liking another culture or even adapting another culture's practice into your own life in my eyes. I feel like the line should be drawn when you say that you are from a culture that you are clearly not. And I know this could be different for like adopted families because they are clearly, you know what, I'll get to that in a second. That's my second point, not gonna start that now. I've seen a bunch of people on Tumblr, and by a bunch of people I mean when I was looking through the trans tag, then ventured into the transethnic tag, saying that this is what they identify with and they want people to see them as this culture. These are grown people. Now back to what I said in the beginning. Transethnic is a real thing, but it isn't someone who is born white or black or Asian or Middle Eastern that wants to be another color, wants to be from a different culture, believes they are from a different culture. Transethnic is when a person of one culture is adopted by someone of another culture, and they are raised in that culture and they are considered to be from that culture. See, it makes sense then because, you know, that is their culture. They were brought up in that. It doesn't make sense when you say, I am a Cantonese person in a white person's body, or I am a white person in a black person's body, or vice versa. It just doesn't work like that. You can't be born to the wrong race. There are no guidelines in which that makes sense. What? This was not a problem until maybe the last 3 or 4 years in all of humanity. Because we didn't have to worry about that. Because it just wasn't a big deal at all. Whereas transsexual has been here for forever. And so has gay and lesbian and bisexual and pansexual and demisexual. Those are real things. Transethnic is not. Transethnic has only been here for as long as maybe 3 or 4 years. Like, that just blows my mind, and it's ridiculous to me. If you disagree with me, feel free to leave a comment and we can battle it out. No, I'm just kidding. we can talk seriously if you want to enlighten me, because I may be wrong. You never know. I am open to that possibility because I have been wrong many a time in my life. So, like, subscribe, tell me what you thought. I'll catch you on the flip side.